happy Saturday. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't vlog. I'm gonna be honest, I did not vlog at all during the week. I wasn't feeling it and I didn't want to force it. Wanted to intro what I'm reading. Sorry, I have like spots of water from the shower all over my shirt. I'm about to go volunteer at the bookstore that I volunteer at once a month, so that'll be fun. Nice little get myself out of the house moment. But the book I'm currently reading I wanted to intro because it is coming highly recommended from several people. I'm continuing my winter TBR of like wintry cold reads, and I'm gonna read Beartown by Frederick Backman. I'm already 116 pages into this, and this one is about a town called Beartown. It's set in Sweden. This is a Swedish translated book, and it's a hockey town. So the town is dying. The only reason to stick around is because there's this hockey team that the town revolves around. It's been like that for generations, and there are some finals coming up that will kind of determine the success of this team, because there's like this new upcoming prodigy that's in the town. But then shit hits the fan. I haven't gotten there yet, and it's not in the synopsis. I don't know if it'd be wise to mention it, but I think it's a sexual assault allegation that like shakes up the town. The beginning of this book starts out with like the prologue. Chapter 1 says, late one evening, a teenager picked up a shotgun, walked into the forest, put the gun to someone's forehead, and pulled the trigger. This is the story of how we got there. And I will say, I am on the struggle bus slightly because this is a very sports-based book, so most of the characters are men, and they're all like, hockey's in our DNA, you never leave the sport, hockey is blah. So it's a lot of the politics of the coaches and the manager of the team, which I don't care, I don't care. Why
would a man be there? No, it's actually pissing me off.
So it's taking a bit of a labor of love to get through those parts, and the thing it's doing is introducing a bunch of different townspeople, which I think will come back to haunt and give you a better perspective of how this tragedy or whatever happens will really shake up the town. Yeah, this has been a struggle to read. I read this last night in my reading sprints for Patreon, so I mean, if I wouldn't have forced myself to read it, it's not something I'm very eager to pick up, but I don't know, it's getting better. There's kind of a turning point where I think we're about to hit the rising action of what actually goes down, so I think I finally got over the hump with this, but so far I'm liking it, and I get why Bachman has a reputation for having great writing. There's been a lot of really interesting moments. You can see I have some tabs in here already. He does a really good job of picking up like the family dynamics of people and like the emotions behind that and what characters do versus what they think. I am an easy crier when it comes to books, and I've been told I'm gonna cry at the end of this. I'm also buddy reading it with Bonnie, who has read this before, and she remembers nothing because it's been like 8 years. So we will update you as we get further into this. I'm also reading an ebook, but I won't introduce that until we get closer into it. I kind of want my vlogs to become like weekend vlogs, because I feel like my weekday vlogs, I don't do anything. I get home, I collapse in bed, I binge eat, and I go on my phone and do my little gaming apps, which I have been obsessed with a new gaming app because I figured out I can do games that get me points on Fetch. So as a coupon queen, I've just been doing those over and over, and that's been really fun. It's been so fun. Alrighty, I'll see you all when I'm at the bookstore. Alright, so I'm home. I didn't plan on getting anything today at the bookstore, but a couple things called out to me, so I held space for them. I ended up getting like 8 books, but I saved a couple of them from the dumpster. Rosie? Hi, Rhodey. You're so cute. Don't ask me why it's 3 days later. My camera died and I was like, they're not gonna hear from me ever again. I still have to share with you my haul of things that I got when I was at the bookstore. So the first book I grabbed was in the recycle pile, and I was like, I'm gonna take that for free. The binding's a little bit broken, but it's a storybook of Richard Scarry's like cute characters from the 70s and 80s, and I used to be obsessed with these books. I just love the illustration style in these, so I snagged that just to have it because it was free. And then also free, I found an arc of How to Make Friends with the Dark by Kathleen Glasgow. I've not read her debut book, which was Girl in Pieces, but this is like a serious book about a girl whose mom dies. It's YA. I really haven't heard that much about it, so let me know if this is worth holding on to. But again, it was free. And then I did pay for 6 books, but it was like $4 for all of these. I'll do them in the order that I showed them to Bonnie, which is stupidest to non-stupidest. So the stupidest book that I got, this was an impulse purchase, 1000%, but I got a Star Stable adaptation book called Soul Riders. Star Stable is a website of like a horse game online that I have not played yet, question mark. But this is just an adaptation about a girl whose mom dies from falling off a horse, and so she's been afraid of it, but then the opportunity arises for her to beat that fear. So I know this book is for 10-year-olds, and who's to say I'll ever pick it up, but I was like, horse book. Next stupidest is in the back of my head I knew that How to Train Your Dragon was a book adaptation to a movie, but it never crossed my mind to look for the book. So when I was sorting through the beginning of the YA section and saw this, I was like, you're coming home with me. I love this movie. I know there's a spin-off or live action creation of it coming up, which is stupid because the dragon is still animated, so the dragon looks the exact same, but whatever. I think this book is written really cute. There's a lot of drawings. I love the plot of the movie, so I guarantee it's just gonna be a quick, fun read. And I don't know why I was obsessed with kids books today. I got one more for you. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I really haven't dived into the whole YA mystery genre, but I have like the Inheritance Games and True Deviant. Is that what it's called? Truly Devious. I was close. This is another really popular one. I've never read Holly Jackson before, but a lot of people praise her, and this could be fun. And finally, the book that I like screamed when I saw it, and you saw it in an earlier clip, is Jamaica Inn by Daphne du Maurier. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, I feel like I've talked about a million times at this point, but it was my favorite book of last year, so I've been keeping an eye out for her books pretty cheap. This was 75 cents. I know it's one of her earlier books. It's set in England about a woman who goes to Jamaica Inn to stay there with family, and it's another like gothic, mysterious, maybe romantic book. But I was laughing because the back of this book says it's a masterwork of romantic suspense in the vein of Wuthering Heights and Twilight. I have never heard a book described for fans of Twilight that wasn't another paranormal YA book, so that really fascinated me. And also the sweet little old lady that I volunteer with, she was like, Daphne du Maurier is the author that got me into reading. I still have all my old books of hers, so I was like, girlhood! And then I have to leave and go to a doctor's appointment in like 5 minutes, but I also have a quick unboxing. I got some Amazon credits back from some returns, so I decided to treat myself. And I typically would buy books not on Amazon, but literally nowhere else has this box set. Oh, they're paperback? Okay, I thought this was hardback. I thought I was getting a great deal. Serves me for not reading. But I got the 5-book set of the Red Queen series, which was my favorite of last year or the year before, 2023. And all the box sets do not include the 5th book, which is technically a book of novellas or like a short story compilation, but it has the conclusion to the series and the main storyline, so book 4 feels incomplete without it. But here they all are. Controversial opinion, I throw these away. I just wanted to purchase them all at one time. Are these the UK covers? They are. Am I feeling bitchy enough to not keep these? I love these. Happy to finally own them after a year and a half. Okay, Smokey. It is my day off today. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day. For some reason, the doctor's office I'm going to was still open, and it's in downtown Dallas. FYI, I'm getting genetic tested today because I am a very high risk for breast cancer. So I'm gonna go find out if I carry the gene, and let's hope I don't find out and spiral today, but I think we'll be fine. Anyway, I gotta go drive a while to get to Dallas. look like Rudolph. All the foundation on my nose was worn off, so excuse that for this entire clip. But hey, I had a day at work today, so I decided to treat myself with a little bath. But as you saw earlier, I stopped by a cafe near me that had a little free library. If you were in the Fort Worth area, highly recommend the Clove Cafe. And because the little free library was new, it had banging books in it. So I took 5. Thank goodness I had books in my trunk that my mom had given me to give to Half Price Books, so I replaced these with a bunch of mystery thrillers that she had read. And here's my insanely good haul from this cafe. So the first thing I saw that I was like, literally the barista was making my matcha latte, which is the first time I'd had a matcha latte, and it was incredible. I saw this and I told her, like, oh my god, who brought these books? This is incredible. Hardcover Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross, which I think is like a dark academia romance, journalists and magic and enemies to lovers fantasy. The only thing I know about this is my best friend Bonnie loved this duology, so I have had it on my list ever since. And I know it's also on Kindle Unlimited, so cannot wait to read that. And then I saw not only the first book, but the trilogy. I'm assuming there's 3 books. Hopefully I didn't leave one behind. But the Once Upon a Broken Heart series by Stephanie Garber. I'm concerned that these are going to be a little bit young for my taste. They're YA, they're like princessy retellings maybe. I really do not know what to expect with these. I have not read Caraval, so I know nothing about Stephanie Garber's writing style. I wanted to get this one just to try it, and I was like, well fuck, the whole series is there, let me do them all. I think I've heard like mixed things, so I'm gonna give these a shot, and I just cannot believe that I saw these. That is an insane find. And finally, I debated not getting this one, but I couldn't not. There was an Allie Hazelwood book for free. That was crazy. I think this might be her YA book. Maybe not. There's no way that that's YA, right? Yeah, this is blurb by Christina Lauren and Helen Huang, so I highly doubt that. But this is about another woman in STEM falling in love with a guy who's probably based on a fanfiction character. I feel like all her books are rinse and repeat. I've only ever read her debut. What's that called? The Love Hypothesis? That was fine, but I couldn't get over that it was literally just Adam Driver. And I read Bride, and I thought it was okay. Even if this is like a 3-star book, I think her books are easy to get through, so I got it. And now I have to go back like twice a month to make sure I'm not missing any good books, because that was insane haul. While I was in my bath, I did it so I could attempt to read a bit more of my book, Beartown, but I was on my phone for like an hour and a half, so. But I am on chapter 18, which is page... I didn't like that. I am on chapter 18, which is page 138. We're finally at the end of all the setup, which took so long, and is the reason why I'm not like running back to it every time I put it down. But I just need, you know, the problem is I've been getting home from work every day and watching queso videos and snacking. But I'm gonna be honest, I kind of just want to lay around. See, this is the vibe that's been going on for the past few the past few weeks. So it hasn't been making some good vlog content, but maybe I'll pick up the camera regardless and you can just watch me lay around. Is that cool with y'all? Hello. My apartment is a fucking nightmare right now. Mostly it's my kitchen island because I use it as a dumping grounds, but I had a pretty bad week at work this week, so I come home and it stinks and it's cluttered and I really just need to clean up after myself. So it's currently Friday night. I want to have a good start to my weekend so I don't just rot the rest of the time. So I'm gonna hold myself accountable by filming this, even though technically I could just start filming this and then never upload it. I'm gonna be hopeful this will kick off my weekend on the right step. Yeah, I filmed that 4 days ago and it's gotten worse. I keep getting distracted, and admittedly I've been having health problems. My head has been hurting and I've been feeling nauseous, so I've been getting home from work every day and collapsing in bed. Here is me bullying myself part 2. I need to unload my dishwasher, clear off my countertops, take out my trash, and just clean up. This is stressing me out. I have shit all over my floor that's been here for like a week. I need to put my treadmill away. Let's start with that. Good morning. It's 10 a.m. on a Sunday. I feel like I'm finally recovered from whatever weird funk I was in. I don't know if it was my medication restabilizing after I missed a couple days. Maybe it was going out and socializing. But last night I got home from a friend's birthday party. I took out my trash. I did a full bedtime routine. I have things I want to get done today. I'm going to see a movie today at 4. So I'm feeling good. So I need to finish cleaning all this that I started. Hello. I'm still reading the same book. To you, this is all like one video, but to me in the moment, I'm like, oh my god, it's been so long since I've read this. I'm literally in the middle of a chapter on page 214, and now it's already 9:45, but that gives me like an hour-ish of couch time. I'm trying to get out of my bed so I don't rot. I have finally taken the step to romanticize my life, and I have a mug of tea I just put together with some loose leaf mango oolong. Ooh, it's hot. Oolong and ooh hot. But also, I've been getting back into journaling. So I have 2 currently going at the moment. This one is like words only on paper. This one is also words on paper, but this one I have prompts every day. So I have a sticker on each page with a different like creatively themed prompt. So I've been trying to do this. I transparently started this in 2018 and I'm still only barely 1/4 of the way in. I'm gonna take some time to reflect on the hard past couple of weeks I've had, and then once I do that, this is not a book to cheer me up whatsoever, but I'm gonna finish Beartown. However, and now that I'm recording, I realized I did finish a different book. I just never talked about it. I was like slowly and kind of making my way through my Catherine Moon ebook, Lessons with the Mothman. I finished this book I don't even remember when I did it. I think it was over the weekend. You know what it was? I woke up at like 5 a.m. and couldn't go back to bed, and I was like, okay, Kindle app, here I come. And I finished this book in a couple sittings. And if I didn't explain, the plot is a human who's doing research on the sexuality of monsters, and she gets paired up with Elias, who's a fae, who's also a moth. I'm at the point of reading Catherine Moon books where I'm reading it more for the characters and the good writing and the plot more than the monster elements of it. So I found myself more and more taken out of the story the more that she mentioned his wings, or he has like a mane of moth fuzz. And every time that she would take me out of the story and remind me he was a monster, I'm like, god damn it, because this would be such a cool book in like contemporary world. I think it was interesting from the perspective of she was very shy and afraid of commitment, but he was looking to fall in love. She really interrogated him with love bombing and was like, you can't just show up in my life and say that you love me. Like, you have to be sure of that before you, I don't know. It was such an interesting conversation, and Catherine Moon tackles subjects like that, which I have never read in romance. So again, I wish that she would do some non-fantasy stuff sometimes, because the whole Mothman thing was fine. It was never weird. I mean, it was weird, but it wasn't like he didn't have like a weird shaped wiener or anything. But the one thing that was weird was at the end there was a threesome with a kraken, I think they were, and I think I've said before, not, Jesus, I'm flinging it, not into tentacles. That was a difficult read for me. I just wish that she would do some regular fiction, because I think her plots and her characters are so interesting. And even though all of her books are basically just smut, she makes it so unique each time. So the twist with these characters was she wanted to role play with him and like let him take control. I'm not gonna get into a full review. I might do it on Patreon where I can really get into the smuttiness of this. But yeah, oh, I didn't even rate this on Goodreads yet. What would I give this? It was like a 4-star, 3.5. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I would say it's above average, but I'm not running to recommend it. I definitely enjoyed it more than the second book in the series. Do you have to read the previous ones in order to read this? Probably not, but it does have a lot of scenes with the previous characters in it. But yeah, I am petitioning Catherine Moon to please give me some normal humans in your books again. So I may need to read some from her backlist. There's a video I want to do one day of reading all of Catherine Moon's stuff and ranking the series that she's done. So one more down. Her next book is in that stupid fucking dragon series where women are like dying in childbirth in order to let the men who are dragons procreate. Like, I hated that book. It had the weirdest world building, and that's the next book she's publishing is in that series. So we'll see if I even end up picking that up. But other than that, Catherine Moon is an auto-buy author from me, and I really enjoy her writing. Cool. So I did finish one thing. I'm over halfway, barely, maybe not even. I'm gonna get underway with this, and maybe you'll hear from me mid-April when I finally get around to this. But it is really good. I'm just scared that the environment that I'm in mentally might weigh on my rating of this book. So it's me, it's not you.
So I can't even lie to you right now. I was determined not to post this vlog until I finished Beartown, but I'm recording this on March 10th and I am still halfway through the book. So I will catch you next time. I promise I'll give you a full review and give Beartown the justice it deserves. If you can't tell, I'm sick right now, so sneak peek for next vlog. Thank you for watching. Sorry it took so long. Bye. Love you.